Hey, ho, ho, ho. How's everybody doing today? I hope you had an awesome and blessed day like myself. I've been super busy, so this video is a few hours later than I expected, but hopefully some of you get to see it and hopefully it gives you some value. What I'm doing right now, the only videos I'm sharing because I'm just so busy is one of the things I'm doing is a 30x wealth program. I'll be doing a 30x business and then a 30x life. But this is not my material. Okay, it's through Brad Sugars, um, who owns a lot of companies like Action Coach and stuff. And I'm not part of Action Coach or anything like that. The guy's really smart, super smart, knows his stuff. He started studying wealth and generating wealth and creating wealth at a very young age in his teens. So he guy knows what he's doing, and he walks his talk. So going through his course, my coaching mentor, Carl Bryan, turned me on to this and got me plugged in here with the program. So I just want to share what I'm learning. This is just, I'm going through this. I'm learning this stuff. Some of it I've heard, most of it I've never done. So I'm going through it in the hopes that I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, right? And hopefully some of this information, it's just notes from the training. It's not the whole training or anything. It's just tips and tidbits and things that that I'm writing down or typing down while I'm listening to Brad, and hopefully it helps some of you. So let me share my screen and go over what we're looking at today. Let me make sure I'm on the right page here. Excuse me. Good day. I have a lot of calls today. Let me see here. All right. So you should be able to see that now. And so today is day 8. I'm a little behind. I took a week off. I got to admit. But well, I'm caught up in the program. I mean, behind in doing videos. So because I got to go through the course, I got to learn it, take my notes, and then digest it, and then spit it out and share it with you guys, right? So I'm only on day 8 as far as videos. I didn't do any videos last week. I was just too busy. So day 8 was getting out of debt and budgeting. Okay. Now I know some of this stuff sounds boring, and I'm telling you, if you want to create generational wealth, this is what you have to learn. This is what separates the Warren Buffetts from everybody else. Okay. Just, it is what it is. They don't just leave this up to somebody else. My original mentor, Tony Robbins, is one of the things that he said, never let anyone control is your money. You need to learn to be a great money manager, and you need to discipline your mind and your habits to learn these little tedious things that I hate. I'm not going to say this, but in the past, I was never a detailed person, right? And I hated this, the details and writing stats and just tracking things. And it's no, I go and do my thing, change lives, make money, and that doesn't always work. You gotta balance it out. You gotta be not only generating, creating wealth. You gotta manage it right. Otherwise it's gone. I've lost a few fortunes in my life. So anyways, that's one of the reasons I'm going through this, to improve that and basically grow up wealth wise, money wise. So anyways, so we have bad debt and good debt. There's debt can be good, it can be bad. So borrowing for a vacation, bad debt. Right? Putting $6,000 in your credit card to take the family on vacation, I don't care how long it's been, that is very bad debt. Okay. Borrowing for anything that you're borrowing for a depreciating asset, food, right? You've already eaten it. Now, granted, I've done this very rarely, but an emergency, but using a credit card. Now, obviously, debit card is different. That's cash, right? But using a debit card, for example, to buy a meal, that a credit card, I mean, unless it's like a business card, a business write-off, business expense, you're just using your personal credit card with like a 15 or 25% interest or whatever. That's bad debt, right? Because you've eaten it, it's gone, it's done, and you're paying interest and payments on this food that's gone, right? A car, yes and no. Depending on what kind of car you buy. Now, you go out and buy a BMW or Mercedes, things like that, and you're not already wealthy, that's probably bad debt. You're paying for a depreciating asset that you really don't need. You're doing that because you want to look good, right? Make yourself look rich, right? What do they call that? You have you're living on a champagne budget with I'm sorry, living champagne dreams with with a with a beer budget, right? Something like that. um, don't do that, right? Don't go buy that nice car because you want to look good and match in. Like I live in Naples, Florida, one of the wealthiest communities in the world, and a lot of people do that, and they look good, right? They look good on the internet. They look good walking around town. They're fancy Gucci's and stuff in their car, their Lambos and stuff. And a lot of them, if you look really at their finances and things, they're not doing so hot. They're stressed out, things like that. So I'm not saying everyone, but a lot. So don't do that. Just save up the cash and buy a car that works and that it runs and it's decent, right? Or maybe if you own a business, it could be a business expense, right? It could be a business car, and that's okay. But don't go buy like this crazy, Mercedes for your business or some super fantastic, fabulous truck that you don't need. Get what you need for your business. Don't overextend yourself to make it look like your business is doing better than it really is. Okay. Um, so, anyways, where are we at here? So I tend to I'm used to just talking and not looking at notes, so it's a little hard for me to stop and look. Super hyper visuals. So any credit card debt where you can not pay off the balance at the end of the month before interest is accrued is bad debt. Common sense, right? Let me grab the highlighter so I can highlight some of these so you know where I'm at here. So I'm right here. Okay. College loans, are they bad debt? Is a college loan bad debt? Most employers, unless it's something like a medical, like a medical job, you want to be a doctor or something like that, or where you want to be the best brain surgeon or whatever, or an attorney, right, where you're joining a law firm and they look for that Harvard graduate or whatever. Really, most employers, they don't look at where you went to school unless it's something like that, right? So go get your college degree, whatever you need to learn, to learn. Don't go crazy, go out of state and go to some fancy college just to get a job because you need a college degree. Okay. That's another reason. If you're not going to get a job, let's put it this way. If you're not going to get a job that's going to quickly, if the employer, like, some law firms, um, hospitals, things like that, they'll pay off your medical, I'm sorry, your college loans, things like that, military, right? If you're going to that school and you're not going to get a job that's going to pay that off fairly quickly and you're going to be stuck in major debt for a long time, don't do it. Do not do it. So anyways, just go to a regular school. Go to your local school, your college, wherever you need to learn. Let me see. Yeah, so they don't even necessarily care about your grades. A lot of employers, believe it or not. It's just, do you have the degree? Great. Can you produce results? Great. That's all you need. Okay. Yeah, so right here. So if you're going to college where it's not going to get you a job, blah, 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 blah. I just covered all that. Military, I already talked that, military company, that's different. If, the military is going to cover your college degree, whatever, they're going to cover. When I went in the Marine Corps, it was really bad. Marine Corps has probably the lowest budget, for anyone. I think the GI Bill was, they were going to take like, it's $100 and something a month for a year out of our pay. They hit you when you're like, can't think. You're, in the middle of boot camp. It's like everybody sitting down and, okay, here's the GI Bill. You want it? Yes or no? Sign this paperwork. Boom. Right. It's like, no. So I think it was like you pay $100 and something and then they'll match it. And that was it. It was $100 and something a month. So it was, I don't know, thousand something, less than $2,000 for the year, and they would match it. And that was it. I mean, like, what school are you going to go to for that? You know what I mean? Now that's different than the Navy and the Air Force and things like that. They pay they pay whatever for your college and so forth. But anyways, so I didn't opt into that. Let's put it that way. I kept my money. I'm glad I did. Now, you want good debt, not bad debt, obviously, right? No, I'm not going to go over this stuff here. Now, this is probably the most important part of what I'm going to talk about tonight. If you're in debt or you know someone that's in debt right now, let's talk about how to get out of debt. Okay? So if you guys want to learn how to get out of debt, that's what we're going to talk about today. So the average person should be able to get out of debt. We should be able to get them out of debt within 2 to 3 years. That includes if you have a mortgage or anything like that. Okay. Now, if they have, that's if you have to have a very focused point of view. Most of this is around your mindset, around debt and, habits and behaviors around money. Okay. So what you want to do to get out of debt is you want to add 10% to your monthly payments. Now, I don't mean all your monthly payments, like all your credit cards, your mortgage, your cars, all that. I'm saying take 10% of your income, or what you have available after your taxes and everything are taken out or whatever. Take 10% and add 10% to one of your bills at a time. And I'll show you how we do that. Now, what you want to do with your credit cards, don't cut them up, right? Credit can be used, it can be used in emergencies, things like that. Put them all in a tub, fill a tub with water, put your credit cards in there, freeze it, throw it in the freezer. So they're frozen. You got to hack away at that thing to get to the credit card. You don't just have it handy. And stop carrying them around with you. Okay, get in that habit and start using the cash we talked about earlier in that no budget, right? Live on an available budget, no more, no less. Use cash or a debit card or something strictly for living on each month after you pay your bills and everything. We'll talk about that in a second. So you want to yeah, so just use the cash. Let me see, I'm right here. So then just use cash for everything. You live on a budget. So get out of the habit of using credit cards. All right, now what we have to do, basically, let me just shrink this down. So what you want to do is take all your debts, right? Everything, mortgage, credit cards, car payments, everything. List them all out, and then figure out the ratio as far as, here's all of my payments. These are the monthly minimums that are due, right? And then you want to pay off the smallest ratio, okay, of the debt. Okay, so ratio is meaning how much is due, the balance compared to your monthly payment. Figure out the ratio on that, and then list them in order. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take 10% of your available income to pay off your debt, and you're going to apply that to the lowest denominator, the debt with the lowest ratio. So again, it's not 10% on all your debts. It's just taking 10% extra, putting it on the smallest bill. Let's say you have a MasterCard and a Visa, just simple terms. You have a MasterCard and a Visa, and as far as ratio is concerned, your Visa or your MasterCard has the lowest ratio. You're going to take 10% of your income. You're going to start paying off that. You're going to add that to your monthly fee for your MasterCard bill. Get that paid off first. Then once that's done, right? Then what you do is you take not just the 10% and go to your Visa card. Now, obviously, you're going to keep paying your monthly minimums on all your debt, right? You're going to keep paying your payments, but you're going to add 10% to that lowest ratio debt. Okay. Now, when that's done, you take that 10% plus the monthly minimum you were paying on the MasterCard, for example, right? And you're going to take that combined effort. Let's say it was $35 a month plus 10%. It's an extra $10 or whatever, whatever it was. And you're going to now add that $45, $50, whatever, to the next highest, in the ratio order. So that would be the Visa, right? So now you're adding, 40, 50, whatever dollars on top of your monthly minimum for your Visa bill. Then when that's done, you take all that money, then you pay the next one. Maybe it's your car loan, right? And so on and so forth. Okay. I'm doing this very quick. If you want to learn more about this, go get Brad Sugar's, 30X Wealth program. But I'm just shrinking down my notes. Hopefully it's making sense. If it's not, get with me because I'm going through it and I can, talk more with you directly about this. I'm trying to keep these as short as possible. Now, I think I just covered all that, right? That was easy. It actually took me a while to get through that and learn all this, and I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. Yeah, so I covered that. Now, let me see. We're going to skip down here to my notes. Okay. So you want to ask yourself, where do you have bad debt right now? Okay. If you want good debt, let's use a house, for example. You put 20% down on $100,000. Okay. If you put 20K in cash down, you control 20,000, let's say you put $20,000 towards an asset. You now control a $20,000 asset. Now, if it increases in value, let's say 10% a year, like for example, in a house, your asset just increased by $2,000, a year, right? Now, what if instead you borrowed $80,000 and you put $20,000 on a house? Let's say, for example, so now you have a $100,000 asset that you're controlling. Okay, and that's right here in these notes. Okay, your rental, okay, should cover most of your mortgage and your costs for that investment. Okay, so there you're controlling. You've only put in 20%, $20,000. Just I'm just using simple numbers. You couldn't find a house for $100,000 anywhere around here, right? But I'm just using this as simple numbers. So let's say you're controlling a $100,000 asset. You put $20,000 in. You're controlling now. You've borrowed 80%, $80,000. Now you're controlling a $100,000 asset. Now, if it grows by 10% a year, that means you get $10,000 a year in capital growth. Okay, based on your $20,000 cash investment. Pretty good, right? It's a much better return when you're doing that. So that's why people borrow money that way. Now you're getting all of that capital gain growth, okay, and hopefully the asset is paying for itself, right? It's paying the mortgage and the community fees and the lawn maintenance and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Now, if you borrow money to control, if you're borrowing money to control a bigger asset, you still get full capital value gained, right? So check this out. If you ask a friend, so check this out. So if you ask a friend or a relative, just read my notes here, to be a silent partner in your business, right, or your deal or whatever, right? What are the odds that that friend or family member or whatever that you asked to borrow you money or whatever, be a silent partner in your deal or whatever, back you? What are the chances of them remaining silent in the business, right? Compared to, let's say, a bank, you went and borrowed the money from a bank, right? What's the difference? Well, the bank's not going to, typically your friend or your family member, they'll probably at some point want to try to put their 2 cents in, right? Maybe you should do it this way. I think you should change this on the menu, whatever it is, right? Now, what's the chances of the bank doing that? The bank's not going to do that. The bank's only going to communicate to you regularly, right, through email or what have you, or letters. And as long as you're making your monthly payment for the loan, that's all you're going to hear from them. They are a silent partner. Okay, makes sense. All right, so that's just a little tip if you're going to ask, family members or friends to be involved in your business or business dealings. Let me skip down here. Now, let's say you sell someone shares. Okay, so same thing with shares or equity. You sell shares or equity in your business, and you double your business, right? You both are going to have amazing returns, right? But here's the thing. If you borrow that money from the bank only wants their investment plus a small percentage of interest, right? You don't have to give up a portion of your capital gains. Whereas if you borrow that from a friend or a family member or somebody, they're going to probably want a portion of your business. Okay, big difference. All right. That was that. Let me trust that out. Okay. Now, you've all heard about OPM, hopefully, using other people's money. That's a great way to gain larger returns, right? If you can use your money and somebody else's money, you can multiply dramatically your gains. Now, if you want to borrow money to control a larger asset, the income has to beat the interest. Okay, so let me read that again. If you want to borrow money to control a larger asset, the income, now keep in mind, an investment has to have both cash flow from yesterday, right? Cash flow and capital gains. That's what you want to look for, okay? So when you're borrowing money to control a larger asset, business, real estate, whatever, the income has to beat the interest that you gain each month, okay? Now, if I'm borrowing debt to buy a business, the amount of interest on the amount borrowed has to beat the profits of the company, right? Same with real estate. The income has to be more than the interest of the amount borrowed. Make sense? Okay, cool. Now, these are the fundamentals and the basics of becoming a good investor, a good money manager. That's what we were talking about here. That's what he's teaching us here. You got to learn, if you want to be the Warren Buffetts or whatever the world, you got to learn how to be a good investor and a good money manager. And that these are the things that great money managers learn and master. Okay. It's all about developing habits and mindsets of being a good money manager. Okay. Now, it's not the big deals in the side this and the side that, or that's going to make you rich. A lot of people say, well, when I make this deal happen or that deal happen or whatever, I'm going to be rich. No, start now, learn these habits, change your mindset, start disciplining yourself, right? Or ourselves. We need to start disciplining ourselves to do these things every day consistently. So that, hey, yeah, you get that big deal. Great. Now you know how to manage money. You know how to invest it. You know what to do with it instead of losing it, which most people do, right? They win the lottery and it's all gone, right? Because they're not good money managers. Okay. So what creates wealth are these little habits consistently done daily and developed habits and mindset to creating wealth. Okay. It's not the big side hustle or the big deal that's coming or whatever. Okay. Paying off bad debt. Yeah. So the paying off the bad debt, it's one aspect to becoming rich. To become rich, we need to understand investing. Debt is part of investing, right? That's what debt is, using other people's money, right? So we want to be in debt that's paid by someone else on an appreciating asset. That's what debt is, right? It's someone else paying for an appreciating asset. That's what debt is, right? Now, there's only 4 ways money is made: donations and taxes, right? And we're not a charity, maybe, probably not a charity or the government. So that doesn't work for us. So all that leaves us is either people at work or money at work, right? Which means either us or people we employ working for the money, right? Or our money making money, or somebody else's money making money, right? OPM, other people's money. Make sense? Great. Got it. Get it. Good. All right. So, anyways, now if I can also, in addition to this, get other people's money making money for me in addition to my money, then obviously that's all the better, right? So before I go over homework, I'm trying to keep these shorter and shorter because they've been very long. And people are busy, right? So yeah, so here's the ways to get out of debt. You want to use your no budget. Okay, if you remember, that was like video 2, I think, where you want to live off your available budget. So you take your annualized expenditures, right? Because they do fluctuate each. Some months are you have higher electric bill or whatever. Take all your debt. I shouldn't teach that again. I should have you go watch that. But take your whole year expenditures, average them out for the month. Take that, deduct your bills from your income, right? And then you're going to set aside your 3 accounts. You have making your payments. So you want an account to make your payments. You want an investment account strictly for investing, hopefully 10 or 20% that you're putting aside to invest if you can, right? And then one that you use for spending, okay, for fun and all that stuff. So enough on that. Now, credit cards, stop carrying them with you, stop using them. Now, granted, if you want to use a debit card or something for your cash, put that no budget that you're going to use to live on each month. That's it. That's your budget. You use it, halfway through the month, it's done. No more fun. We gotta, train our habits if we're gonna, generate wealth. So that's it, But if you want to use a debit card for that, so you're not carrying cash around for security or safety reasons, yeah, great. That's the only card you carry, though. Every other one, you freeze it. Okay, don't cut it up, right? It's okay. Just freeze it. Okay, so that you can't just access it and have it, random, use it, whatever you want to, creating more bad debt. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Now, 5 ways to be rich. Okay, great. This is gonna be a short one. I thought it was gonna be a long one today because it actually was a long training. But I kind of shrunk it down. So there's 5 ways to become rich. That's it. Okay. Win money, right? Win the lottery. So unless you're going to win money, you're going to win the lottery. Most of us aren't. Maybe you will. I don't know. But for most people, that's out. You can marry money. Okay. If you're real young, you want to go find a sugar mama, or if you're a sugar daddy, whatever, maybe you can marry rich. For most people, that's out. It's morally and things like that. Number 3, become a superstar, right? Become a Tony Robbins, become a Justin Bieber, become whatever your superstar, fans are. Most of us aren't going to be superstars. I love this guy. I've been watching. I don't watch a lot of America's Got Talent, but gosh, I can't. Let me think of his name real quick. America's. I want to say his name's Kobe. America's Got Talent. He's amazing. He is he's autistic and he's blind. Amazing kid. Can't believe I can't think of his name right now. I just went through this long training. So, sorry, give me 1 second. I'm gonna find it real quick for you because I want you all, if you haven't seen this kid, it's unbelievable. Made me cry last night. I mean, he's just unfreaking believable. Can't believe I don't have his here, let me see. It's right here. It just pops right up. I want to say his name's Kobe. I could be way off. Give me a second. Sorry about that. I thought it would just pop up, but it's sending me to YouTube videos and stuff. He's one of the finalists. He's amazing, and I can't believe I can't remember his name right now. Give me a second. Let me just scroll. Here. I mean, some of you are probably like, "Oh, it's so and so," and I don't know. Finalists. All right. Anyways. Oh, here he is. What's his name? Why can't I just post his name? Kid is amazing. Anyways, you can become a superstar like him. I think he's going to be a super, super, superstar. I mean, out of all the talent, he's by far the best, I think. Cody Lee. Cody Lee. This kid will make you smile, laugh, cry. Awesome. Anyways, go check out Cody Lee, Kodi Lee. You can become a Cody Lee. Become wealthy. Most of us aren't. Oops. Anyways, I forgot you all can see what I was just doing. But you saw Cody Lee. You saw a picture of him. So you can become a superstar. You have a unique talent, or you become famous for something great. Good luck. But for most of us, the only way that we are going to create wealth and become rich, okay, so to speak, is through business and investing. Invest most of your time, unless you're going to win money, unless you're going to marry money. Maybe you live in India and you're going to be married into money. Maybe you're a superstar. I don't know, but but you want to invest most of your time, your learning, and your energy into business and investing. Okay, business and investing. That's where you're going to make your money. Okay, your homework. Make sure you have your 3 accounts. If you don't know what that is, go through the other trainings. Cut your costs, list your debts that I just went over, and figure that ratio out and start paying off your debt. And then even out your annual spending. I think that's really it. So thanks for watching, guys. I gotta call this person back. Hopefully you got some value from this. If you did, please comment or share, or like or share. If you have any questions, get with me, because I am, let me stop the share, because I'm going through this. Now, obviously this is not planned. I do the trainings. I just take some notes. I jump on, do this quick video because time is restricted for me right now, and I got a lot going on. So I'm just getting the knowledge out there because I don't want it to just go away. Plus, when you're learning something and you try to teach a little bit of it, it sticks a little better. And hopefully doing this, I'll start to walk my talk a little more, right? As I'm learning these things, instead of just having this knowledge sit there, right? It will help me and hopefully help you start saying, you know what, I need to do that, or I know that, but I should be doing it, right? Things like that. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you, for taking the time, however long this is. I appreciate you, love and appreciate you all, and you have a blessed night. Thanks. Bye-bye.